In the summer, we broke the club record transfer fee when we spent £32 million on Vitinha. Well, in January, we've done it again, and we have spent a lot of money on Youssouf Barassi from a 20-year-old wonder kid from Manchester United. But the day after he arrived, he got sick, and so while we've been grafting away, he's been at home with his feet up watching YouTube. But today, I rather feel we might see him play for the first time. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Liberty Stadium in Swansea. And if you are a first-time visitor here, then why not? Subscribe, watch, like and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very, very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling above. And today we have a game against Nottingham Forest coming up. And if you have been following along, you'll know that we've been doing particularly well. We've qualified for the second knockout round in the Euro Continental Cup, and we are currently sitting in 5th or 6th place now in the Premier League. We have 43 points from 24 games. But before we get into that, it's been a busy transfer window, much busier than I anticipated. And let's have a look first at who's gone out. Many players have gone out. We have so many players, it's hard to get rid of them all. But the ones of note, Gustavo Scarpa, he went to Tigres for £14.5 million. I got fed up of him. He wasn't listening to me. He wasn't training very hard. I didn't like him in the end, and I decided to cash in on him, and we made a little bit of a profit on him. He just didn't fit the vision that we had going here, and he went off to Tigres for 14.5 million. We got him in on a free, so we've made a handsome profit for the board on that sale. Certainly surplus to requirements. A couple of youngsters have gone out on loan. Ben Lloyd, Sam Leverett, Evan Watts, the goalkeeper, he's gone out on loan. Harry Jones, a fullback. And then another transfer, Edo Koyemba. We signed him for £5.5 million from Watford. He was beginning to moan a lot, so I decided to cut my losses with him, and he also has gone out. We had far too many players in midfield for the system that we're playing, and it was good to send him out. We've actually made a loss on him, but for me it's a gain. I got £5 million in the transfer kitty again. And then finally, Emil Kraft. We had too many fullbacks basically, and they were all fighting for the one place, and he was the weakest of all of them, and so I had to sell one, and we let him go, and it's probably the right decision. He's not getting any football here, and so it was the right thing to let him go. He went to Dinamo Moscow for £10.75 million. We brought in a young fullback, central defender called Timo Zahl, and he looks like he could be a decent prospect for the future. I think I'm going to keep him at the club for one half season, and then we might put him out on loan once the summer comes. I'd like to give him some game time, see what he's up to, see what he's about. If we can, we'll give him some game time. We brought him in for £525,000 from Herensveen. And then we bought another fullback, Tyrell Malacia, left back, who were particularly short at left back. And he looks decent. He's a squad player we've brought in, and he will be back up pretty much to Augustinsson, who's pretty much playing very, very well, and that means Courtney House can go back to central defender. So anxious to see what he can do. Hopefully he'll do the business. Looks like a decent player to have as backup. And then the big signing for £35 million. We brought in Youssouf Barassi, an advanced forward from Manchester United, doesn't on the surface at the moment look like the greatest player in the world, but with his potential, he's got 5-star potential. We've got around 3 or 4 years to develop him, and I just think that if we train him properly, then he might become a superstar for this club. He did get a virus the day after he arrived, and he's been off sick for the last couple of weeks, but today I rather fancy he's going to be making his debut, as we have some very tired players, and I think it's time for him to take the field and show us what he's made of. He looks like a very good player in the making to me, and I'll be very excited to see what he can do in the second half of this season. And yeah, very, very busy transfer window. We spent a lot of money, 43 million pounds, and we're happy with the business that we've done. In total this year, it's 148 million pounds we've spent, but we have brought in 84 million pounds, which I think is pretty good. So although we have a small transfer debt, it's not huge, and Swansea can certainly afford to manage that with the money that's coming through the door every day of the month. And when you were last with us on the pitch, you saw us lose to Leicester in that game. Very unfortunate. And then Everton at home was our next fixture, and Everton were never at the races. And they are struggling for some reason at the foot of the table, and we took them apart. And Vitinho got us off to a great start, 1-0 after 15 minutes, and we never looked back. Downs and Grimes, magnificent in midfield. Augustinson had a great game at left back, and we were just putting them away. It was 2-0 after 23 minutes. Hojek with a close-range header. Then Amati fed Adley, and Adley's cross was picked up by Hojek, back to Adley, and there's another one. Satriano getting in on the act, and he made it 3-0 on 25 minutes. Everton got a penalty back just before half-time and made it 3-1. But Swansea were not finished, and we just absolutely powered our way through this game. And goal of the game, I think, by Vitinha there on the half volley from a lovely cross, and that made it 4-1. And 5-1 was not far behind. Armati getting to the byline, little crossed, and Satriano with his second of the game, he made it 5-1, and it was all but over. And Grimes' corner was then headed in by Reece Williams, and that made it 6-1, and Everton were blown away. And then that was like a crazy result. And then we had an FA Cup third round match against lowly League One Doncaster. We played pretty much our reserve team, and it was a very nice 3-0 victory in the third round. And then Watford came along. The next game was Watford away. Watford gave us a game. In all fairness, they were pretty decent on the day and gave us a game. But we were the better team, and Ahulu managed to drive one in from 25 yards, a lovely daisy cutter to make it 1-0. And then Delap fed in Vitinha. Vitinha took it around the goalkeeper and made it 2-0 on 72 minutes, and that was that. And Watford were beaten. And the big game of this month was against West Ham, a game that I felt we wanted to win on a very cold day in January. Delap was put through, and he scored the only goal of the game. It was a delightful performance by the boys. We pretty much dominated the game. West Ham never threatened us. We could have scored a lot more. We hit the bar, hit the post on one occasion, and West Ham were never in it. Although they did create a couple of chances, Lavery fed in Hojek, and Hojek went round the goalkeeper and that was that. It was Swansea 1, West Ham 0, and job done. And that was a great result for us. And then Fulham, a team struggling at the bottom, a team we should be beating, and that was fairly comprehensive as well. Hojek, he fed Vitinha out on the right. We are looking good playing wider, and Delap was at the far post to tap one in on 44 minutes. It was Fulham 0, Swansea 1. We were on our way. The second half, though, didn't go to plan, and Flitton Downs was sent off for a second yellow card. That made it a little bit more difficult. We went a little bit more defensive, a little bit more counter-attacking style, and we did the business. That seemed to pay off, and Delap scored his second of the game on 79 from Grimes' little chip over the top. And that made it 2-0, and Delap was going to do better. He was going to finish his hat-trick, and lovely play into play, and Delap's finish was absolutely perfect. Lovely side foot into the bottom corner, and it finished Fulham 0, Swansea 3, and another lovely result for us. So that's why we are 6th in the Premier League. I'm surprised we are not higher, but today we have a game against Nottingham Forest, and this is where we will see our brand new signing playing for the first time. We're going to be giving some players a bit of a rest. We have some high injury risks amongst them, and some players are suffering from fatigue as we go into February, and we need to rest some players. And so Barassi is going to make his debut today. And let's have a look at the team for today. And the team is Fisher, Armati, Williams, House, Augustinson at the back, Ahulu, Magyar and Grimes in midfield, and Vitinha, Lavery and Barassi make up the front three. So let's go and win this football match, and let's see if we can't move higher up the table. We could get as far as 4th if we can win this. I'm going to tell them, you should be winning this game very easily, and that's what I'm expecting. And so it's a very strong Swansea side, even though we've rotated a lot. It's a game we should win. And let's go and play some football, and let's beat Nottingham Forest. We are treating them with respect. We are not going all out attack. We are playing in a very balanced way. And I was just checking there because there was a highlight from the kickoff that I hadn't left it in extended, but it is a kickoff highlight. And I always do worry about these. But Swansea have won the ball back, and I think Augustinson has injured the Nottingham Forest player over on the right. Hard tackled him, and pretty fairly as far as I'm concerned, and he's hurt. And Augustinson is sprinting down the left. Augustinson into space. Can he get the ball across? He finds Lavery. Lavery has popped it into the corner, and within a minute, Swansea are ahead. It's Nottingham Forest 0, Swansea 1. I guess that Nottingham Forest are going to complain that we played on when they had a player writhing on the pitch over there. But hey-ho, if the referee doesn't blow his whistle, we're entitled to carry on. And Lavery's finish was sublime into the top corner. And we are ahead by a 1-0. And that couldn't be a better start. And we are pretty much dominating procedures. 10 minutes gone. Here is Augustinson. And that's fired in, but Magyar will pick it up. Magyar, who's having a very tidy season. He finds Vitinha. Vitinha, he's looking for Lavery on the far post. And Lavery has hit the post. And it's in, and Yusuf Barassi has scored his first goal for Swansea. We wanted big things from him, but that was a pretty soft goal. I'm not quite sure what happened. Vitinia put in the cross. Lavery's looping header hit the post, and then the Nottingham Forest defenders left it to each other, and Barassi just nipped in and says, "I'll take that." And so after 12 minutes, we are 2-0 ahead, and we are still coming at them. This could be a rout, as Armati brings it forward. Armati bursting into the box, but his shot is saved. And I'm not quite sure I want Armati and Augustinsson bursting in and firing in shots. Would have been better to cross the ball in, but we have a corner that's headed away, and Nottingham Forest can break, but the highlight comes to an end. So at the moment we are dominating proceedings, dominating possession. Augustinsson with a free kick, and that's a great save. And we are dominating everything in this game. And most importantly, we are 2-0 ahead, and we are 4th in the table. Augustinsson fires in the corner, and that's easily claimed by the goalkeeper. And so we're just going to continue to play in this balanced way. It was a wise decision, I think. Often these teams defend deep and then look to hit you on the counter-attack, and we are not going to allow that to happen. We're going to treat them with the respect. And there is that long ball they're trying, but Courtney House has managed to tidy that up easily. He finds Augustinsson, Lavery, back to Courtney House. House brings it forward. Ahulu, who's also having a very good season. I like that little player who's a defensive midfielder. Nice little ball winner that we've picked up there. Him and Downs have done a good job as DMs for us this season. And here's Lavery. We're playing the ball around absolutely beautifully. Grimes looks over the top, and here is Maggio. Maggio's in space, but that was a good block, and the goalkeeper manages to clear that up. 2-0 up. Which they haven't had a shot in the first half, and we have pretty much dominated proceedings. And I just tell them, let's have more of the same in the second half. As Maggio finds Armati to Vitinia. Vitinia is robbed, and here come Nottingham Forest. And there is a chance. They have got that ball over the top, and here they do have a chance, and he's hit the post. And Armati can clear it up. That would have been a travesty had they scored with their first shot of the game. And here is Lavery. He's looking back for Courtney House, who's having a splendid game today. And here is Armati again. Armati to Rhys Williams. I somehow have to find the money in the summer to sign Rhys Williams. As Maggio has been put through. Maggio with a shot, and he puts it over the bar. Our finishing is really poor at the moment. I think we do need to do some finishing training, because our finishing is absolutely substandard at the moment, and it's our dominance in midfield, our dominance in possession, and we're creating so many chances, but we are not finishing very well. And Lavery to Augustinsson. Here's Ahulu finds Vitinia, and here is Barassi, who's on a 7.3 at the moment. He's having a tidy game, but not the greatest of games. As Lavery, he's going to look inside for Ahulu, he finds Courtney House. Courtney House looks across to his defender, Rhys Williams. Ahulu to Vitinia. Lavery is having a stunning game today. And there's a cross into the box by Lavery, but that's headed away. It's only as far as Amati to Ahulu. It's absolutely relentless. And was that a penalty? I got a feeling that must have been a penalty. It's not been given. Lavery into the box, and Barassi can't turn it in. That looked like a stonewall penalty to me. But it's not been given. And it's still Nottingham Forest 0, Swansea 2. And here is Augustinsson to swing the corner in. And that is harmlessly headed out for another corner. And Nottingham Forest really haven't offered anything in this game, but then our finishing has been pretty poor. And we have won the ball back though. Here's Maggio to Augustinsson looking to go wide again. He finds Maggio into Lavery to Grimes, and that's another wasted opportunity. Just our shooting has been absolutely dreadful. But we are in 4th in the Premier League with 46 points from 25 games, and this is good form from Swansea. I know that things are going to get a lot tougher at the end of March, so it is important that we do pick up these points now. And Grimes takes the free kick, and that has hit the bar and gone over. And it's either just not one of those days, or we really do need to work on our finishing. Our finishing, 20 shots on target, 9. We have an XG of 2.14 and only 2 goals to show for it. And I'm not too impressed with how the boys are finishing at the moment. But we are winning the game, and that's what's important. And we're just going to tell them, well done, that was a good win. We'll have a look at what's going on in training and try and resolve our shooting issues as we go into our training week next week. And we are 4th in the Premier League. We are still in the Euro Cup, Continental Cup, in the knockout second round. Everything is going very, very nicely. We're still in the FA Cup, and we are having a very, very good season. And if we have a look at the schedule before we go, if I can find it, there it is. And if we can have a look at the schedule, it looks very nice. Certainly not as bad as last year, and we have had a tremendous run since the middle of December. And I think what we'll do next time is we'll come back, we'll play some games now, and we'll come back for whoever we're playing in the Euro Cup to second knockout round, first leg. And we will see if we can get a good start and make it into the quarterfinals, which will be the next round. The draw will be interesting when that happens. And that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you are new to the channel, then subscribe, watch, like and comment. Help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause you can see scrolling above. And that's it. All that remains to be said now is we'll see you wherever we are on the 14th of March for the Euro Cup 2, second knockout round, first leg. And we are looking forward to that. We will see you then.